Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 13th. We're going to jump right in here, Aries, and just see what is going on for you at this time. You have this ocean card that says distance and journey, and you also have this bear card that says strength and resourcefulness on it. You've been getting a lot of these travel cards with me for quite a while, and you have the Two of Wands, which is another travel card. So some of you could be traveling or moving or going to, new locations. I would just say that if you're just making some sort of change, the Magician can represent reinvention. And a reinvention could just be like changing your career or doing something different in your career. I feel like I've been talking about this with you for weeks. So, if you're doing these things, then there's going to be, a lot more success in making those changes. It makes sense to me that, again, I've been getting these comments that are like, you've been repeating yourself for like weeks now. I'm like, yeah, well, the problem is that, what I think is that we are in between eclipses, number one. So we have the next set of eclipses in April. So things are going to be similar, between now and then, basically, because we have to clear out all that energy, right? And the other thing is Pluto and Aquarius, as I always talk about, is going to be a major change this year. Whenever we have a generational planet moving signs, then things are going to be very similar. But again, there are differences. You have this, you have this distance journey, the strength resourcefulness card. I feel like for some of you, number one, if I were you, I would be really tapping into resourcefulness just in general, just looking at the astrology in general. Also, this year, you're going to have Jupiter entering into your second house, really good for money, but that doesn't mean you should be spending money, right? It means that you should be kind of like learning how to be resourceful, learning how to get the things you need without spending money. All that stuff will just make you more successful in the future, right? So I feel it's important that we are efficient and that we learn efficiency. Again, especially Pluto going from Capricorn to Aquarius. As I always say, it's like when a planet leaves a sign, that's when we really have to learn the medicine of that planet, where it was, right? So it was in Capricorn, Pluto. Now it's moving into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn this year, but it doesn't matter. I would still be, Pluto in Capricorn was teaching us how to be resourceful, how to tap into our resources, how to do more with less, how to be more efficient, how to make sure that the things we're working on, that we value those things as well, but also how to transmute things as well. Capricorn is a sea goat, water, land, right? So you have this Magician card here, and I feel like maybe some of you have had to learn how to, like in work or business or career, it's like you've had to learn how to work in maybe multiple different worlds, right? Maybe you started a career doing like one thing, but maybe something has changed where maybe you were working in the public, now you're working behind the scenes. Maybe you were working in public, but now you're working on the computer, right? We saw this with COVID. So a lot of you, there have been these changes. The people who can adapt to these changes very quickly are obviously going to become the most successful. The Magician, it's funny, he's pointing to 2 sevens. I always say that to me, 2 sevens represents internal fears that don't exist, especially when they show up together, like they're touching each other here, Aries. And so what I would say is that there's some sort of fear that, could be about maybe a transformation. It's like, I love this card right here, this Poised card. It is an amazing card. It says you're being lifted up on a pedestal. You're really being, I feel like you're being blessed, but there's almost some sort of fear that has to be faced with this energy. And for some of you, I feel like I get a certain level of vulnerability here. I don't even know, it's like if I'm being honest with you, I don't even know what I'm feeling. I feel vulnerable, right? It's like I feel like I have to maybe, with that Poise card, put myself in a position, like if I put myself in your shoes here, Aries, it's like I feel like I'm putting myself in a position where I could be criticized or, I could be wrong about something. And maybe that's the fear that's going on here, which again makes perfect sense with Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius is all about exposure. And so on a personal level, I think all of us need to take the risk of exposing yourself. It's funny because, I think if you have like a public platform like YouTube or something like that, you might notice criticism going up. What you should be doing is ignoring it, going down. Because it's like the reason you're being criticized is just because you're probably shining your light brighter, right? Especially with that Poise card and especially with the Aquarius energy. Aquarius is the star. So some of you really have the opportunity, I believe, especially for you, Aries, because you still have Jupiter in your first. It doesn't matter that it's going into Taurus this year because it's going to retrograde back into Aries as well for a short period of time. And again, when Jupiter moves into your second, that's when all the seeds sprout. So it's like you're growing. When it's in your first house, you're glowing. You're getting more attention. You have the Two of Wands here, needing to leave a comfort zone. All you fire signs get these comfort zone cards. Why? I really don't know. I've looked at the astrology. It doesn't necessarily make sense to me other than Pluto and Aquarius, but I feel like some of you need to leave a comfort zone. You have the Hierophant here. The Hierophant is about needing to kind of learn, number one, but it's also about outside the box thinking. So for you, I feel it's encouraging you to, sorry, I'm just dropping cards all over the place. For you, I feel it's about outside the box thinking and coming up with new ways of doing things. Let's see. With the Magician, you have the Two of Wands. Yes, everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. I'm going to keep saying it. I mean, it's literally like my motto, right? I've been saying it since 2020 because of all these changes that we're about to go through, which are, if you kind of move on to the other side, Six of Swords right here, what you discover will probably blow you away in the sense that it will put you in a position to be more successful. I think that, maybe we're all a little bit too attached to comfort zones. Two of Wands twice in your reading. He's standing at the top of the castle, which is where he has always been, and he needs to go somewhere new. And when he does that, it's like, yeah, he has to learn something new. Yes, he has to have new experiences, but what's over there is good stuff. With the Two of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty. It's almost as if we're all afraid of something that is like a blessing, or maybe we're afraid of things that could be blessings in our lives. And, I feel this is especially true for you because of this reading here, Aries, where it's like maybe you're in a relationship with a person that you just know isn't going anywhere, but maybe you're afraid to leave. This would say, guess what? It's like what you're fearing is moving on to something else that will be a true blessing. Same thing with your business as well. It's like if you're fearing making a change or your career, whatever it is, it's like what's on the other side is a blessing. Ten of Cups twice in your reading. Pretty amazing. With the Hierophant, you have the Four of Pentacles. It's like Hierophant also reminds me of Neptune and Pisces. We have Neptune and Pisces until the end of 2025. And what I would say here is that it's kind of like traditional thinking. Neptune and Pisces is a challenge to traditional beliefs. And the Four of Pentacles says once you start thinking outside the box, once you challenge the things that you have believed in your life for a long time, then you will truly become successful. So I definitely feel it's time for you to take action here, Aries. You have the action card. This is showing up in the area of the unexpected. I do feel like what's unexpected kind of is that you could be taking action here. Maybe it's unexpected because you're just surprised that you've done it. For some of you, I feel that you could be taking action towards a person. So if you have a person that you're interested in, I would go for it. I really don't see, you have the Ten of Cups twice basically. So I don't see much love here, but if you're taking action towards a person, I feel it'll go very well for you. For the rest of you, I feel like you're taking action towards a dream. Ten of Cups is your happily ever after. It's total fulfillment, total happiness. So even if you don't want love, Ten of Cups is everything that you want in your life, more or less. So I love it. You start off with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords kind of like in this in-between time, right? They are still in the choppy waters, but they're being guided across the choppy waters. I would encourage you to tap into your guides, your ancestors, whatever whatever it is that you tap into. I would do it because I feel like you are being guided at this time. I also feel like you could be getting a lot of assistance here from like higher sources. You have the Seven of Wands. The more you believe something to be true, the more likely it is to be true. So, I think this is definitely a card that pretty much all of us need to embrace right now. He's defending his position at the top of a hill, and he's kind of demanding something, right? He's demanding success in a certain area of his life, or it could be multiple areas of his life as well, and he's not settling. He's not allowing lesser situations into his life. I think we all do this. It's like when we get very close to the top of the hill, like he's at the top of the hill, then maybe the universe presents us with some resistance. Or maybe we start moving on from a past love, and then the universe brings that person back right when we're about to move on to someone new who's truly good for us, who truly serves us. And it's like maybe the past doesn't serve you. So sometimes I feel with the Seven of Wands that it encourages us to draw a line in the sand. It says, are you willing to say, no, I'm not willing to accept anything less than whatever it is that you're not willing to accept. I feel like this is what you're willing to accept right here. Ten of Cups and nothing less in all areas of your life. So it's once we start taking action and we demand these things, right, of ourselves, then we become very successful. And that's pretty much what I see happening for you here, Aries. So love it. Amazing. With the Six of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. Yes, I knew there was something about a breakup here, so some of you could be going through a separation or a breakup or a healing. It kind of looks like a healing to me because Six of Swords would say that you've kind of already made the decision to move on from something, and I feel like there's something much better. I really feel this reading is saying that you're in this in-between time. It doesn't matter if it's love or business or what for you. I think it could be anything, but it's just saying to me that, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I feel like you're kind of healing from something. Three of Swords is about forgiveness, and it's about forgiving the past so that you can move forward. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. Exactly what I said. There's something new coming in for you that is a dream come true. Some of you might be taking action towards a person that you already know. Kind of get the feelings of like work. You might work with this person, or maybe you do similar work to this person. I feel like you could know this person as well. Definitely feels like a risk to me. I feel like it's a risk in the sense that obviously if you work with a person and you ask them out, for example, it'd be pretty weird if they say no. But I don't think this person's going to say no. So I would say shoot your shot here if you have if you are interested in a person. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Magician. I'm telling you right now, the Ten of Cups, we're going to start here actually, because the Ten of Cups, they are choosing to be happy. The whole point of the Ten of Cups is that they're standing in the real world, but they're looking at those 10 cups and they're celebrating. So it doesn't matter what's going on around them. They're choosing happiness. Magician, same thing. He's normally got the flowers in front of him, and it represents what he decides to focus on. And he's deciding to focus on happiness, joy, abundance, all those things. So it's like you have a choice to focus on the good stuff or the bad stuff, right? And I would focus on the positive here. Next, in the area of the critical information you need to hear right now, you have this card that says, if all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, you won't value and appreciate the small ones. You have the sports card that says, collaborate or work as a team to boost your finances, have more fun, and build new connections to grow in your career. Seven of Swords. He has polka dots on his cloak on the Seven of Swords, which represents needing to have more fun. He is, can be, in the tarot, the polka dots represent like taking things too seriously and needing to be more playful. So I definitely feel that here. Also, Two of Wands twice. Two of Wands twice is this card right here. Two of Wands, he rushed to a finish line, the guy on the Two of Wands, and he kind of didn't enjoy the process. So whatever new thing you are building, enjoy the process. If you're getting into a new relationship, don't just rush right into marriage. Like, enjoy the relationship, right? You have the Strength card, the Five of Cups, and the Seven of Swords here. So I feel like you've earned something with the Strength card. You've been through some challenges. We even see that actually right here. Six of Swords, Strength to the Death card. It's like you've earned something by being strong, by being patient, by putting the work in. With the Five of Cups, I think you just need to turn around. He needs to turn around and see these two cups behind him, and then he'll see this bridge and this castle over here, Aries. So he's focused on what he lost. He's not focusing on what he has to gain. And again, I feel like that's a big, that's like a big thing that's going on here in this reading, is that I feel like this whole entire reading is saying that you have a lot to gain, and, what you lost is basically nothing, right? You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, of course, can be lying, cheating, stealing, especially next to the Magician. But it's really a card of tactics. It's a card of doing things differently. He's stealing the swords from an army in the background here. So instead of, fighting that army head on, he's doing it differently. So I would say, if there's anything you're working on, how can you do it differently? I would also say for some of you, I feel like you already are doing something different in your business. And I feel it'll be very rewarding with that Seven of Swords. Again, when we work with the energy, we get the rewards. With the Strength card, you have the Hierophant. Yes, like a lot of repeating cards in this reading, if you haven't noticed. So, very interesting. When I have repeating cards, basically the universe saying I meant what I said, and it's showing up in the same diagonal here. So there could be like a true divine counterpart coming in for you. And the reason I say that is because you have the Hierophant, Four of Pentacles, like holding on to the past, choosing something new that is better is going to lead, and having been patient, which I think you have been patient, is going to lead to, success or marriage or commitment with that Hierophant card. I would also say that working on, leaving the box, getting outside the box, doing things differently is going to make you successful. With the Five of Cups, you have the Devil here. Definitely could have been dealing with a toxic person in the past. Again, I feel like you're moving away from it. Although I kind of feel like this is the new person. So definitely could be a Capricorn that's coming in for you. Could be someone who has Capricorn in their chart, like Sun, Moon, Rising, something like that. But, what I would say here is I feel you're kind of letting go of toxic things just in general. Five of Cups would also be letting go of toxic substances. So some of you could be doing that. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. Again, another repeating card. Are you kidding me? I've not had a reading like this where there's so many repeating cards touching each other. Five of Cups here, the Two of Wands here. So, a lot of these, the Magicians, the Hierophants, pretty crazy. I feel like you're clearly improving. At the end here for the good stuff, it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be positive no matter what, but it is positive. You have this Poise card. She's being lifted up on a pedestal, and she's gaining, attention, recognition, but I feel like you have to embrace this energy and don't go back to the past. And I don't mean a person. That could be part of it. I feel like it's much bigger picture. It's like if you have removed some bad habits, or if you have done some healing or whatever, I feel that you're very, very close. It's like you're very, very close to being in this position. But when we get close, that's when we experience, as the War of Art says, for example, that's when we experience the most resistance to what we want. And that's when we maybe start thinking about going back to the past, when we get very, very close. So you are very, very close to some sort of accomplishment. You have the Death card, the Ten of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Again, someone wants forever with you here, Aries. I feel that. Definitely an earth sign, or it could be someone who has a lot of earth in their chart. I feel like they're very stable, very successful. I feel like they're predictable as well, not in a boring way. I just think that their energy is predictable. It's like there are no guessing games with this person is really what's popping into my head. So if you've been dealing with a person where there's a lot of guessing games or, uncertainty in the past, I feel like this is much more certain. I also feel that in business as well. Your business is becoming more predictable. That does not mean that there are not going to be ups and downs. What it means is I feel like it's more predictable, and maybe you can set a watch to the ups and downs. So then you can better prepare for those things. But I also feel like you could be diversifying yourself, and that could be kind of stabilizing, making those ups and downs a little bit less. You have the Ten of Wands here. Having a harvest, you're reaching the end. I'm telling you, don't give up now. He's carrying this heavy burden, but he's about to reach this house in the background, and he's about to have a harvest. Those 10 wands are what he has planted. He planted those wands, and now he's about to have a harvest. So I really feel you're about to be rewarded for all your hard work. Do not give up now. And you have the Death card, definitely a transformation coming in for you. The other thing is I feel like you are leaving a period of fear. There are these two pillars that are on the moon back here, and those two pillars are from the moon, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. So I really see, a lot of benefits, a lot of good things coming in for you with this energy. So I like it. Looks really good to me. Let's see. With the Death card, you have the Queen of Pentacles. There you go. Divine counterparts right here. This is something permanent. Again, I'm telling you right now, it could be a Taurus as well. But whatever, it could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. I feel like this person is very resourceful. I feel like they want to work together with this sports card. I don't think it's really talking about sports. It could be, but I think it's more saying there's someone who legitimately wants teamwork. I love the King and Queen of Pentacles together. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to. These two people just want the same thing. They want stability, and I feel like that could be coming in for you. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Fool, definitely a new beginning. Death, Fool, Magician twice. These are major new beginning cards. So it's time for a new cycle. I really feel that, sometimes I feel like the Fool is just small, just a small thing, not something, not something significant. But I feel like this is a completely new cycle, major improvements coming in for you. And with the King of Pentacles, you have the Two of Pentacles, something new. Two of Pentacles is my card of picking something new. I also am getting settlement here. So if you're waiting for a settlement, or if you're hoping for a settlement, I feel like there could be like a financial settlement. Two of Pentacles also like more fun coming into your life, Aries. So I feel like a lot of you could be doing things that are going to lead to more fun. You have this Bow card. It says you are highly thought of. Yeah, I think that people are really inspired by you. You have that Strength card, and Strength, I always say, is a card of inspiration. She has her hands in that lion's mouth. So it could be you displaying strength to other people through the decisions that you make. Again, when we make hard decisions in life, we inspire other people to do it. That's why it's so important, right? And it's really important right now with Pluto going into Aquarius. It's like the most spiritual thing you could be doing right now with Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years of your life is inspiring someone else. It could just be one person. It doesn't even have to be a million people, right? So if you do something that has required strength and you're inspiring other people, then you're doing your job, basically, and you will be highly thought of. You have this Dagger card. It says fears, worries, tense situation. I feel this could be some sort of separation, but again, I think that you could be separating away from a person, and I feel like what you're realizing is that person was a dark cloud. That person was a storm, basically is what I'm feeling here. So you could really be leaving a person who was chaos and brought chaos into your life. You have this horseshoe. It says good luck. Clearly, there's a lot of good luck coming in for you. I really feel the universe is on your side here. You have this ant card. It says work, achievement, success. Yes, I'm telling you right now, if you are diversifying yourself, you're going to be more successful. The other thing I'm a big fan of right now is if you're doing things that kind of take care of the heavy lifting for you, or if you're building systems, Pluto and Capricorn going into Aquarius. Pluto and Capricorn wants us to be more efficient. So if you're finding ways to be more efficient in work or business, you're going to be much, much more successful by working with that energy. Next, you have this October card. I always clarify these monthly cards, and you have this flag card. It says, don't be tempted to lower your standards. We literally said this, right? It's like maybe you got out of something in the month of October. And again, I feel like there could be a person coming back, or if it's not a person coming back, I feel like it's a person who displays the same traits as the last person. Maybe it's like a test from the universe or whatever you want to call it. I would say don't do it, right? And I feel like there's something much better. I feel like some of you have your eye on someone who is significantly better than, anything you've experienced. So I would say go for it, or maybe they're the one that's going to go for it. But, I feel it's a true blessing that's coming in for you in love, if you want love. And it could lead to marriage and even like a family, 10 of cups. So love it. But this looks really good here, Aries. I love where this is going. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.